What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Today, I want to tell a personal story about my own father. I was born in 1981. At the time, my father was a relatively young man. He was just only 26 years old. My mother was 31 years of age. Now, my dad never really knew his own father, and he was raised by a stepfather, but that stepfather was not the strongest male role model in his life. And so my father got of age. My aunt died before I could meet her, before she was born. My father met this preacher who became my godfather, and that became more or less his father figure in his life. But my mom was 5 years older than my father, and she had more life experience and was more crafty than he was. And it was something that a young man was not able to handle at that time, right? And so because of the positions that he was in, being somewhat of, I would say, a son, husband, not necessarily knowing himself as a man, he got on drugs. And so by the time I came into, being 6 or 7, my dad was strung out on crack cocaine by this time. And of course, those other things, cheating, in and out of jail, it took my family back to Sacramento from Los Angeles. And those inabilities of my father really stuck with me into my early 20s. I had a very, I won't call it a rough, teenage life, but it would have been a lot better if my father had been stable. And I struggled for that. And it took me to get almost into my early 30s to basically regain control of myself, because I didn't have my father in my life, but my grandfather was there, and that really helped me out a lot. Now, I'm telling a story because this may be very true for you, but it is also true for Nia Long's son. Nia Long's son is Kez, and his father is Ime Udoka. Up until last year, they lived a very healthy life. Ime Udoka also is much younger than Nia Long, at least 5 years, very similar to my situation. So he's a younger man, but the son loves both his parents. And now, with the fact that Ime Udoka was cheating on his wife, Nia Long left. That relationship cannot be resolved. Kez, who is now a teenager, is having a really tough time missing his father. He's used to the father being there. The father is not there anymore, and he's probably acting out. Very similar to how I was when I was a teenager and going into middle school and high school, where at times I struggled severely because my dad wasn't there. Didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. And a lot of times as black men, we blame women for why relationships don't work out. We blame women for sexless marriages. And of course, we know that is true. But something that is real is that a lot of times we were not, or in at least some of the times, right? We were not man enough to make the right decisions to be there for our kids and to keep our family together. That's something that brothers don't want to talk about. And I know that it's hard dealing with women that don't appreciate you. It's hard dealing with women that, might not be acting right. But now when you have kids, your kids don't know that. And your kids don't care about that. Your kids want you to be a father, and your kids want you to be there for them. And when you as a man make wrong decisions, even if the woman is, not being fair to you, even if the woman doesn't care as much as you think she should, but now when you have kids involved and you make the wrong decisions, you ruin their life. I know it because it happened with me, and you know it because it may have happened with you. And here's where the rubber meets the road. Nobody cares, bro. Right? There's certain things in life where we got to stand up and be men. And making bad decisions that cost our kids situations, unacceptable, bro. Because you making that decision destroys that kid's life for the next 20, 30, or 40 years. That child may never get over that. And I'm speaking to you as a man that had to deal with that And hindsight is 2020. I want to talk about something. You know, I went to a prominent church in Sacramento. The pastor at my church was there from 1973 to 1998. And of course, we thought he was a great pastor. He retired. He died within the last 3 to 4 years as the pastor emeritus. And then we had another pastor that came in from Texas. And that pastor was dealing with the regime of the old pastor. And the regime means the deacon board. He was dealing with the church board membership. But there was a lot of corruption going on. And when I mean corruption, not stealing of money or church finance, but there was a lot of infidelity. We had a choir director that was messing with young boys, or an assistant choir director. The main choir director was having an affair with some women in the church. And when the new pastor got a hold of that information, what ended up happening was the church split. Then another pastor came after that. The church split again. And now in 2023, our church has never been 10% of what it was in 1995. But it all goes back to that corrupt regime of the first pastor of our church. Because one person can make or break a system. And it's the same thing with black fathers. I understand that women can do things. I understand that things cannot be fair. But that is why God made us men. And when you have children involved, you are the ones that asked these kids. You wanted these kids. You wanted to become a father. And if you have a good relationship with your wife, I can understand a little bit more if you're in a sexual relationship, something like that, that's not working out. But if you have a decent relationship and you go out and you ruin your kid's life, where your kid is having problems in school because of you, you're the worst kind of person. You go out and get in drugs because you can't be a man. Nobody wants to hear that excuse, bro. Nobody. And that is why you have to stand up. Your kids don't deserve you to give them less than what you should have. You had those kids. They are here. You take care of them. Your kids don't deserve failures from you. If somebody's going to fail, let it be your baby mama. But don't let it be you. Don't let it be you. Because you ruin your kids' lives forever. And a lot of black men don't want to take ownership for some of the things that we do in the relationships that crumble our kids because of bad decisions that we made. And we know women make a lot of mistakes and a lot of dusty mistakes. But then when it's us, we don't want to act like we did that. Yes, I know we do. Some of us. And we need to be better than what our fathers were. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. We're out.